what is this thing that's been holding you back? Because actually it's probably a source of fuel and energy for you. So start asking questions, feel into it, lean into it, learn what it is, and then get the information out of it, get the energy out of it, get the fuel out of it, and let it drive your purpose and your mission. Let it become part of your why, that burning in your belly. Let it be something that gives you energy. It doesn't have to be something that you necessarily need to even honor or celebrate, but there's information in it for you, and it can be turned into a gold mine, a source of energy and fuel, the reason why you're doing what you're doing and why it is you desire this transformation, so that it becomes easier to let that go. Hello, love. Welcome to the Sacred Purpose Podcast, a place where we illuminate your innate wisdom and help you embody your soul's calling. I'm your host, Lisa Malia, midwife, breast cancer survivor, and mama of 3, turned nonprofit CEO and embodiment coach. We're each on a unique path to live our sacred purpose, but we don't need to walk it alone. Through the power of connection, feminine wisdom, and embodied leadership, we can elevate our lives, communities, and businesses. Each week, I'll bring you transformative stories, practices, and rituals to support you in trusting and following your intuition, creating space to live a life of sacred purpose with deeper clarity and unapologetic joy. As we reimagine and envision a new way forward, are you ready? Let's dive in. So today we're diving into what's really holding you back from the growth and the transformation that you seek, that you desire, that you want, that you know is calling to you. And maybe you've had this calling to you for a while, or maybe it's something new. Maybe you've even taken steps towards it and 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Maybe you're just trying to find your way through it. If for anything like me, like this last transformation that I'm actually still in, I feel like I'm just moving like goo through it. I've been using the word like molasses. I don't know what's on the other side of this growth phase that I'm in, but boy, it feels sticky and slow, and I'm just in it. And allowing it and noticing it in a different way this time. And I feel like I may have just cracked through the surface of it. In fact, I was telling a friend the other day that, when you talk about growth and transformation, you hear a lot of people refer to butterflies, right? So they melt down inside the chrysalis into this gooey mess before they become this butterfly. But there's a whole lot that happens in between there. And I feel like that in between space is where a lot of us end up staying for a little while, maybe sometimes more than we need to, or maybe it's really necessary, as in the case of the caterpillar. Like, this is a necessary phase. But at some point, something changes, right? Something changes, and hope is reinfused into this transformation, right? At some point, that caterpillar knows that it's changed. At some point, it realizes that it needs to leave that chrysalis. At some point, it decides to take a bite out of it and realize that this is the way out and that it's ready. And I feel like that's the stage that I'm in right now. Like, I just realized that, I now need to take a bite out of this. I now need to start to chew my way out of this and make little cracks in this opening to find out how to come out of this and what's on the other side and what is waiting for me and what is next. And it's, again, not rushing the process. I am really in it. And I know there's still more for me to learn here. And I know that what's on the other side of this is so, so good and really interesting to be in it while I'm actually just coaching so many people through this process. And I feel like this is an incredible time of year actually for what's next. It is butterfly season. I've seen so many outside my window. And this time of year, besides January, when, everybody thinks about setting their New Year's resolutions and what they want to do for the year, and all their big goals and all the new habits and strategies and ways of showing up that they want to begin to implement and everything they want to accomplish and succeed in for the year. I feel like fall is another one of those times. We don't really give it the credit that it's due, but historically, and most of us, at least here in the US, we grow up, we go back to school in the fall, we enter a new grade, we step into a new level of something, we show up differently, we go get our new school wardrobe and our new backpacks and really mindfully think about how we want to show up for the year, for the new grade, for the new level, the new beginning. And so I feel like there's a part of us that's just wired into that, and if you have children now, they're going back to school and now you're looking at your schedule differently and the things you can do differently, your projects you can take on, or, teams you can join, or roles you can create or embrace now and show up and see how you're going to mindfully show up in that way. And I think it's a really beautiful time to, as we have fall approaching, and so we know that this time of year starts to get, the holidays, and then we close out the year and Q4 approaching. So how do we mindfully choose what it is we really want to focus our attention on right now? We have so much at our disposal. And if you're feeling this growth phase, if you're in it and you just know that there's a transformation and growth that you so desire, and how you can mindfully direct your energy towards it. When you consider all those goals and those plans that you had for this year, we're like, what is still relevant? What still feels important to you? How can you mindfully create time and space for it and mindfully manage your energy in a way that sets you up for success, to show up the way you want to show up, to support that growth and that transformation? What is it that you need to do? How do you need to show up for it? I don't know if any of you have had the chance to take my archetype analysis quiz. It's a new tool I have out to the world, and the link for it will be here in the show notes if you haven't already taken it. But one of the things we use that tool for is to just help you embrace the way you show up in the world, so that you can not only start to really zone into your area of brilliance, but that you can see the brilliance of other women as well, and learn how we can call upon each other a little bit more to support our big dreams and our big goals and our big visions. But that being said, I really wanted to dive in today about some of the things that hold us back when we are, just about to take a bite out of that chrysalis, right? Just before we, realizing that, what we want is so close. If we just did, the next thing, or if we just had the support, or if we just, if we just could trust ourselves more, or if all the things, right? When all the what ifs start to come into play, and really trusting your intuition, trusting your inner knowing, trusting that what you want and desire is meant for you. There is nothing that you dream of that is too big for you. There is nothing that you want that is out of your reach. It is possible. And how can we manage our energy and have faith and trust in what it is that our heart and our soul are calling for, so that we are living in alignment with our soul and our heart and our purpose, and doing it in a way that feels aligned with our values and in our mission, and brings us joy and space and nourishment. It's not that we do things that everything is going to fill us up, but it is important to do the things that fill us up so that we can take on the tasks that don't necessarily feel super enlightening, the mundane tasks and chores of life. But if we're doing enough of the things that fuel us and give us joy, it makes those mundane tasks a lot more pleasurable, because we know that they are also serving a purpose towards our highest good. So when we talk about some of the things that hold us back, right? It's fear, it's comparison, it's feeling like maybe we're not enough, imposter syndrome, or maybe just feeling a fear of being seen. Some of those emotions that come up, right? So when we talk about growth and transformation and making space for it, right? So going back to what I was talking about in fall, in this season of showing up in a new way, anytime you do that, something needs to go. right? So that something needs to go. The caterpillar cannot stay a caterpillar and become a butterfly. Something has to change. Something needs to go. What will that be? And it would be nice if we could just choose it. Sometimes we know what it is, and sometimes it comes as a little bit of a surprise. So the things that become out of alignment when we try to take this next step towards growth can sometimes bring up those emotions and the fear of letting go, the fear of something different. The system response to that is, oh no, I can't, what do I do without that? Even if we know that it is something that we need to let go of, or something that we want to let go of, we've been so accustomed to having it that it still triggers a response in us. And that's the part where we get stuck many times because of the emotional response to it. Despite what we know, our body has a reaction to it. We have an emotional response to it. And that's where we start to go, oh no, okay, well, how can I still do this thing but not have to let go of that? Or how can I let go of that more gently or more beautifully or more easily, if that's possible, and still be able to embrace this growth that you seek? That's a place to start really looking. We cannot skip this step. You rush past it, it will eventually catch up to you. And so I see this happening a lot, where either we rush past it, we just mind our way through it, mind over matter, just push through, right? That's where that push through comes through. And that's when you're not listening to the responses of your body. And we do that long enough, eventually our body will speak louder and louder and louder, in the forms of stress and the forms of overwhelm, and the form of, running out of energy and depletion, in extreme cases, illness. So listening and tuning into the responses of the body and investigating it, because for me, this is where the gold is. When we can understand that it's not an obstacle to overcome. I look at this very differently, I think, than most people. This is not an obstacle to overcome. This is a mind to start digging. It is where the gold is. What is this thing that's been holding you back? Because actually, it's probably a source of fuel and energy for you. So start asking questions, feel into it, lean into it, learn what it is, and then get the information out of it, get the energy out of it, get the fuel out of it, and let it drive your purpose and your mission. Let it become part of your why, that burning in your belly. Let it be something that gives you energy. It doesn't have to be something that you necessarily need to, even honor or celebrate, but there's information in it for you, and it can be turned into a gold mine, a source of energy and fuel, the reason why you're doing what you're doing and why it is you desire this transformation, so that it becomes easier to let that go, so that you're not even necessarily always having to just cut yourself off. Sometimes that is necessary, but I'm just wanting to offer you a different perspective about some of these things that hold us back, that can keep us stuck or stepping back, or coming back into, thinking we can do it all, or let go of it all, or carry it all, or bring it all with us. And it's just not possible. Maybe for a little while, but not for very long. Like, I can carry all the groceries from my car in one trip. Oh, sometimes, right? I might make it up 1 or 2 flights of stairs, but I'm up a couple more floors. So will I make it all the way to my door with all those groceries? I don't know. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I know better. But I think you get my point. So this is where, once we dig in and start looking for that information, that gold mine, to really embrace it, as we use it for fuel to align with our purpose and our values and our mission and what this next growth level is, I really do believe that it adds to the success of your growth and supports you. It helps to just build a firmer foundation for what it is that's guiding you. And that's what we come to when we talk about our soul's calling and our heart's calling. What is this thing that you desire, that you want to create, this project, this vision, this work, this, your family, your home, your body? What is it? And how can you just really bring it into your body and feel like this is a hell yes for you? You are so empowered by it, so driven by it. This is your life's part of your life's mission, right? So it's part of your life's work, bringing that knowing into your body. And that's how one of the pieces that help us develop that self-trust and that inner knowing, so that whatever disruptions are happening, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer how we get through those moments, and clearer and clearer and clearer on what really fits in that picture anymore. And let's see, I have another episode, we'll talk about self-trust altogether, but that is actually part of one of the things that does hold us back, is that self-trust piece in, do I really know what I'm doing? Am I really called to this? Can I really follow through on this? What are the agreements I made with myself and with this project and this idea, and how I will accomplish this thing? Can I follow through on it? Can I build that trust muscle within myself to actually do the things I say I'm going to do, show up the way I want to show up, and help bring me some of these visions to life, these things that I really want and desire? And the good news is, and I really want you to believe this part, the things that you desire have purpose. They have meaning. They are important. They are meant for you, and they are yours to nurture and to grow. You are responsible for them, and you are so supported. And they came to you for a reason. And it's not just for you, it is for the bigger picture. It does serve the higher good when we all take the responsibility to answer the callings of our soul. And I believe we do it best in community, supporting each other. I will have a whole other episode on how women can do this and have an abundant mindset on the way we support each other, beyond supporting each other, really celebrating without that scarcity mindset of competition, where even if we're doing very same or similar work, that we are not in competition with each other, with that we create this abundance mindset around supporting each other and witnessing and celebrating each other to really collectively grow and harness our collective wisdom and our collective energy. And that really ties back into a lot of the reason why I created these feminine leadership archetypes, so that we are able to see the brilliance and the uniqueness of each woman's flavor of leadership, so that we aren't individually trying to wear all the hats and do all the things, so that we can really learn to collaborate and lean on each other a little bit more. So go ahead. If you haven't taken that quiz, please do so. And I do have an upcoming mastermind. I hope you will join me a masterclass for the Feminine Leadership Masterclass. It's going to really help us lean into this season of growth and transformation, really reset and realign what it is that we want to do in the final months of 2022. And I really hope I will see you there. This has been such a juicy, wonderful conversation. If you got anything out of it, please go drop something into the reviews below. 5 stars if you love it. I always appreciate those so much. And share this with somebody and invite them into the masterclass. And I will see you there. As always, sending you so much love on your next step. I believe in you. I believe in us. I'm so happy to have you here with me. It's an honor to have you tuning in each week. I want you to know that no matter where you're at and no matter what transition you're facing, you are supported and loved. You are whole, and you are more than capable as you are in this moment. You always have been. If you're ready to lean into a life of purpose, clarity, and joy through sisterhood, ritual, and intention, join us in the Connected Circle. Consider us your soul squad of women navigating all the transitions of life together. To join now, head over to my website, lisamalia.co, and join the Connected Circle at the very top of the page. I'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this show, please share, subscribe, rate, and write a review. This helps the goddess of the algorithm guide other incredible people to find this show and supports the work we do here. It really does make a difference, and I would be so, so grateful. With all my love, have a beautiful day.